Hey guys, Nick again this week, and we are back with the problems of pasteurization. Uh, Really overall, but we're just keeping it in regards to pasteurized dairy products at the time, because again, this was the last of your elimination foods. Now, if any of you know me or seen any of my work out there, I'm a big fan of raw milk, raw cheese, raw dairy, raw products in general, because I love life. And pasteurization begins to destroy life. And in some cases, depending on how it's done, which we'll go over, sterilize it. No more life. Completely gone. Remember, need living food to make life. You want to be strong, happy, healthy, vital, just feel good every single day. It's important that you get food that supports that. And in today's case, we're talking about dairy. So, problems with pasteurization. Let's start jumping in. High temperature, short time, HTST, and ultra high temperature. These are two types. You'll very rarely see a low temperature pasteurization, but these are the two that you're going to commonly see. Now, the HTST damages everything quite significantly. The ultra high temperature, the UHT, actually sterilizes. So that's why I said this. If you see like ultra high, ultra pasteurized, anything like that, everything is completely dead in there. All it does is extend shelf life. That's the entire purpose of it. But I want to really get to, why do you want to kill all the microorganisms that are living within your food? Because if you want to kill everything in your food, that's implying that your food is not healthy to begin with. If you just have to destroy it all, that may already harm you. Why should stuff be on your food that's going to have the potential to harm you? You should be finding out what types of foods you're getting, where you're getting these from. Because you see this all the time where there are E. coli outbreaks and so on and so forth in raw fruits and vegetables. It happens recently, I know, with spinach, cantaloupes. I've looked at some of these things. Why is this happening? These foods, why aren't they pasteurized, right? Well, because dairy is, again, a big lobbying thing down in Washington. Outside of politics, though, all food should just be healthy. You shouldn't have to worry about dangerous microbes, dangerous organisms living in your food. No, it should be produced in a humane manner for both plants and animals. And that's why we shouldn't have to worry about having to pasteurize things. Now, damaging proteins. So if you're damaging the proteins, the body can't absorb it properly, and or the body doesn't know what to do with it. Remember, we talked about this a little bit last week. If I'm trying to build up a muscle, a joint, a ligament, a tendon, a nerve, an organ, whatever it may be, I don't want to do so with damaged proteins. These might already be damaged. If I'm already in pain, damaging these proteins or these vitamins, these minerals, is not going to help me out. It's actually going to make it worse. The other thing that happens is it kills the lactase enzyme. So I'm sure most people have heard of lactose intolerance. Well, there's lactose and normally lactase in real milk, but what happens is that gets destroyed. Lactase is what actually breaks down these proteins, the lactose protein in general, and really allows the body to be able to use it properly. So if we're destroying that, we can't use it. You'll see numbers out there, 70, 80, 90% of people really aren't lactose intolerant. They're just not getting living foods, living proteins. No matter what the problem is, try it. If you have problems with dairy, try it in a raw form. Try it in raw aged cheeses. These are had the lactose taken out of them because of the fermenting process. So they're much more easy to digest, as well as hard cheeses. We talked about natto and the K2 last week. Here we go, vitamin K2. This stuff, Activator X by Weston A. Price. Like, this is a big deal. This stuff is not in a lot of the foods that we're getting. That's why we see so many problems with joint problems, with bone problems, osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, all these things. Got to get that vitamin K2. It's really important. Plus the probiotics. Hey, how many people have to take probiotics because they're not getting it with their food? We want to get it. The hygiene hypothesis. We're not getting enough dirt. We're not getting enough of these microorganisms to support our gut, so we have to take it artificially when we could just be getting it from good quality living foods. Again, making sure we know where they're coming from. We don't want them getting from these CAFOs, like these large conglomerates. No, we want them out on grass. We want to make sure that we're eating veggies with a little bit of dirt on them because they're not sprayed with anything. We know what's in the dirt. It's also going to be really good for us. But getting back to the pasteurization, well, milk, if it's pasteurized, will spoil. Raw milk, all it will do is start to ferment into like some yogurt, some curds and whey. It really never turns bad. It's just this lactic acid fermentation process, which is a good thing. These are other gut healthy bacteria that we can really thrive on, but instead we go and kill it with ultra pasteurization. And now milk can become dangerous if it gets to that point because it can be rancid. It can cause a lot of gut issues that we don't have to worry about if we just let something ferment. That's what it's meant to do over time. Yeah, it's breaking down, it's digesting, but it's going to give us different forms of organisms to really help our gut function well then as well. So again, what about raw milk, raw dairy? So a lot of these times, if you're getting raw forms of these, they're grass-fed animals. This means we're jacking up those fat-soluble vitamins, specifically, like I said, the K2, but the vitamin D, all of these are going to be really, really good. Plus, we're not damaging the vitamin C, the iodine, like we are when we're pasteurizing it or sterilizing it, depending on what's being done to it. So again, more vitamins, more minerals. Hey, healthier us, better joints. Calcium to phosphorus. You want that calcium and phosphorus damaged? You go here with it. You take away that calcium and phosphorus. What's the point? That's what it's always supposed to be good for the bones, good for the joints. Well, it's not if we're damaging everything. So we want to, again, get those raw forms. It's going to be much better. The other thing we see associated with are decreased allergies and less chance of developing asthma later in life for those that did consume raw dairy as a child. So if you're having allergies, if you're having asthma, you might want to look into this to help really with that. Plus, who's to argue with the flavor? Now, of course, this is a matter of opinion, but I know my farmer. I love my farmers, all my local ones. I'm on a first name basis with them. I get to know them. The stuff that they're producing is pretty darn awesome. It tastes delicious. Whether it be the milks, the cheeses, the yogurts, all of the above. Really loving it. Finally, the choice is yours. With all of these things, the choice is yours. What are you going to do? What are you going to take into your body? Your health is in your hands. I'm trying to give you all these resources. Please go out, think about it. What's going to work best for you and your family to get you to be healthy, vibrant, live that pain-free life, live that just mentally focused life, everything that you want. Health is important to that. So get your health top of its game. Keep everything else riding along with it.